Oh, my bad. I hope this work. I hope say this one will work. Let's see. Let's.
Like in all the nations of the world, the powerful political elites will determine who governs us. Like a proverbial knees on our necks, this nation is choking. We can no longer breathe. There is a shortage of air. We need to allow this nation thrive. I'm pleading with you tonight on behalf of millions of our people, more than 10 million of their children who are out of school, and more than half of the population who are in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken as a private enterprise anymore. You, the ordinary Nigerian, can no longer keep quiet. The nation belongs to all of us. And this time around again, no sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for its giant to rise up and flourish. That is why 2023 election is a make or mar. Look, this nation cannot make a mistake with the choice of its next leader. It is a must we get it right. If you employ the best hands to run your private companies, we should have the best of us run the affairs of this nation. We must get leadership right, not only at the center, but across the states. Knowledge, crisis management skills, character and integrity, vision and courage to make tough decisions, effective communication skills, ability to unite the nation. Leaders who cannot show these traits cannot be hired. Enough is enough. Nigeria, rise. Vote and vote right. And your time is now.
So I hope I hope I got it right this time around. Okay, I think so. Yeah, fully is here. Matthew is here. One and no verse. I be one man team. I'm sure no one no one give me $1 million. Um, Man of Prestige will come to support you when the guest came. When the guest comes in, he's here. Okay, okay. So but Mama Icho, if good now, make it make come make everybody just dey answer one question. Make we just dey go around like that, so that as he, I think he doesn't have much time. He has like about an hour and a half. Now we say we don't even spend 30 minutes already with that.
All
So
right.
yeah, Mr. James is back. You feel reach out to him again, Mama Icho, but I send him the link just so I can send it to everyone. Mr. James, what do you think? Is it better?
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I dey try, so when you get new gadgets, you they play around with that. That's what happens. Yes. Again, our guest is a gubernatorial candidate of AAC, and we'll be having a conversation with him, and hopefully, his aim of the whole of today, he achieve am, because I think the point of coming on to talk is to have people convince people and hopefully get followership to follow your idea, buying your idea. Not necessarily for the election, but because of your political career. So hopefully you that achieve we achieve today. But so and Mr. Jim, what are your expectations? Considering what happened in Edo State, what happened in I mean Edo State is the fresh one. So what are your expectations in Ondo State general?
Yeah, please let me change my internet connection.
Okay.
It's giving me. So, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I say, what is your expectation? Consider after what happened in Ondo State. What's your
Well,
expectation
the
of Ondo State election?
well, Nothing has changed. The political dispensation is still the same thing. That is my worry. The votes, the votes really don't count. This is the crux of the matter, unlike what it used to be in the past. Although in the past, the vote did not count properly, but they took quite a lot of things into consideration. Anyway, let's give the what's it called, our guest a chance to speak first. Let's give me that privilege.
All right. Mr. Wiseman. I like that name. Wiseman. Wiseman. Are you the wisest man in Ondo?
No,
Mr.
it's not a
Kunle,
nickname.
you are unmuted. I
It's
know, I
just a
know, I
nickname.
know.
The people are the wisest.
I know, I know, I know. So, but how did you come about the nickname? Na Foley give you. I mean,
No, 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 no. It was while I was at my pre-degree at the University of Ife at Obafemi University Ife. So there was a night we had some issues as students in our hostel, and I was the one who made some resolutions of what we needed to do. And so I quoted one priestly position that saying a lot of things
hello?
to encourage the students. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, I said a lot of things to encourage my mates. So at the end of the day, one guy, Damilola, I can't forget his name. So he now said, "Oh, you are a wise man." And so I tried to reject the name, but it stuck. That's the issue. So since then, I've been getting that name, and because one is
Is
also
that,
into a lot of activism
mm,
and poetry too. I'm a poet. I'm an activist, and I do a lot of history writings and history researches. So, and I am well bred in political economy. So those are also factors that made the name stuck the more. So it's not that I'm wise, but I can say for sure that I'm the best of all the candidates contesting. I'm probably the only
I,
one that actually understands the political economy of rebuilding Ondo State, because mine is named collective wealth, collective welfare, which means that the people needs to be rich collectively, and the people need to redistribute that wealth and share welfare collectively. And these are very practical approaches. Is that I take solace and inspiration in the work of the first civilian governor of Ondo State. That's the person of late Adekunle Ajayi.
okay. Well,
Important.
I like. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead. Let's say the network, the bridge, but
Hello? I can't hear
yes, hello,
you.
we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now. Now, I think there's a network glitch between us.
Okay. So it's that collective collectively, and also build societal welfare collectively. And those are the two basic things in modern day economics. You talk about the gross domestic product. So if the economy is growing and Nigeria is reaching to trillions and trillions, and the people are not growing, the people do not have housing, the people do not have education, the people do not have healthcare, the people do not have electricity, the people do not have employment, food prices are high, skyrocketed, the currency is valueless, that situation shows verily that something serious is wrong with that society. And it is because for a very long time, public wealth has been transferred into private hands. That is why you have a situation where Nigeria killed its four refineries. The Nigerian ruling class killed our four refineries. And enough that does have the capacity to even provide for the whole of Nigeria. So how could we abandon? And you can see some people, I saw some memes saying that it's like somebody who have four wives and leave all of them to go to a side chick. That is what neoliberal capitalism is doing into Nigeria. It is the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank that dictates the economy today. This is avidly bad. This will continue to put us backward. Day before yesterday, as I'm speaking to you now, there is a small rain in the whole of Akure. And I can tell it to you that a lot of places, especially at Ijoka and even Oda Road, you've also go to the road that is even very close to Alabaka here. They are being flooded. A sad incident happened yesterday in Ondo town and its suburbs, where you have serious flood. Houses got flooded, properties destroyed. That is what happened when we do not have a society that is planned alongside collective wealth and collective welfare. In Ondo State here today, they said that nobody shared palliatives. The governor repacked everything to share as election bribes. And you also find a situation today that even the ruling class parties are not campaigning to the people. What they are doing is busy buying politicians and waiting for who can rig the most. And that is why the Ondo State ruling class today and all of those contesting for the Ondo State elections are afraid, seriously afraid of a debate. So our position in the Ondo State election is that we want to have a chance to discuss extensively with the people, to educate the masses, to show them that there is an alternative. We do not believe totally that you can change society through the ballot, because it is the ruling class that continue to perpetuate that ballot. So you need to look at the heavy load of even sponsoring election campaigns, going to the press, getting publicity, and what have you. Only those who have stolen billions in government and are supported by other governors are now bullying everybody. But some of us would never back down. And maybe that was why I was arrested on August 10, leading in bad governance protest. Because for me, I feel very seriously that it's not about just being a candidate. It's about correcting and making people know that they can stand up for themselves. Telling Ondo State people that we cannot continue to allow a situation whereby the late governor Akeredolu, and in collusion with this current governor, too, as deputy governor, took away farmers' homes, farmers' lives, farmers' business at Oluwa Forest Reserve and sold it in what they call a purported lease to private hands, and made over 3,000 farmers to go hungry, destroyed the land of over 10,000 laborers, those who are artisans, sorry, pardon my word using laborers, but artisans, people who work in the farm. You find that situation so bad. So this is why we are contesting, to put the agenda on the table, that we are talking about collective welfare, collective wealth first. Because recently, the former governor Mimiko was celebrating his birthday. He tried on education and healthcare, but did not do them so deep because of financial constraints. And it is because they failed to do what Adekunle Ajasi did, which is in the core of our manifesto, bringing back the Owena holdings. When I was young, we used to have the Okchupa Palm PSC. We used to have Olua Glass Company, one of the largest West African glass company. We used to have Ifon Ceramic. We used to have around Romeo Buroba Estate. We had a situation where we had Owena Transport, we had Owena Bank. The state had its own bank. It is to do collective work so as to sustain the free education at all levels that we are supposed to be giving youths of Ondo State, so as to sustain the free healthcare, standardized healthcare that will make Ondo State the hub of medical advancement in the whole of Africa. You get it? To sustain mass housing, mass comfortable, conducive, and modern housing. To sustain the new Amsterdam plans that we plan to build on the Ondo State coastal area, and we make it as open as possible. To sustain all of the projects that we need to do to better the lives of Ondo State people, there's a need for collective work. And it's simple capitalism. It's not because I'm a revolutionary socialist. No, it is because the law of capitalism itself says that it is those who have the largest capital that are supposed to be handling the commanding heights of business. Nigeria as a country, Ondo State as a government, has the largest capital. Why is that capital not used for business? It was not a magic, it was not rocket science that Adekunle Ajayi within 3 years built Jowena Holdings, Ondo Textiles, and was about to build a chocolate factory. Just about 3 years, it was not rocket science. It was honesty, visions, and understanding of the political economy. All these elements that are contesting today against us, with due respect, do not understand anything. That's why whatever you go and read their manifesto, is all motivational speaking. They just do motivational speaking around. Now, the flood that is happening now, they have no clue, no solution to it. Insecurity in Ondo State, the current government has no solution to it. This current government was even owing WAEC. It was we who shouted and made it public. How can you be owing WAEC and students could not even see their results after 2 years? Till today, the issue is still there. Even the government had to issue a statement that they are paid. But it also shows a very faulty, unguided, you get it, uneducated leadership of the state. I visited a nylon factory. Although, you know, for environmentalism, those are issues that we'll still work on. But when you visit, it was not a factory of about 200 million. And they are producing massively there. What stopped Ondo State government after receiving about 100, the current government received about 100 billion within a year, to even create one industry to employ 5,000 people? No. The government is busy employing, appointing friends, thugs, and a lot of other associates as SAs. 344 SA list in a day. So we cannot continue to allow these people to have the space alone. It's not about winning. Contesting election is not about winning. It's about fundamentally presenting an alternative to the people clearly. And when the people accept that alternative, we'll be able to defend it. That is why we are on ground here in Ondo State. That is why we have been spending our last couple of all the support, great support from our comrades, great support from our friends and sympathizers. We have made sure that we spend it in an accountable way in making sure that we do the job, do the duty, talk to the people, go to press, do a lot of other things, and hold meetings from Owo to Ikare, hold meetings to Chupa, Ore, and a lot of logistics alone. With the high cost of living in Nigeria today, with the massive purchasing power that have been reduced, it's more of like you have done nothing. And that's why we want to even still do more before the election day. For us, we believe that the momentum will come. Ondo State people will rise, but they will rise when we make them understand why they have to rise. And that's why the strategy for our manifesto is on mass education. Want to do mass education, keep educating the people, using all avenues to talk to the people, using all avenues to let Ondo State people know that this is our plans. Rebuilding Owena Holdings, using the money to build social and physical infrastructure. And when you talk about physical infrastructure, it's going to be modern. I'll give you a classical example of one of our plans. We're going to make it public at any time as possible. Ondo State has a U format in terms of geographical format. There's only one road, one lane road, from Akoko down to Akure, down to Ondo, to Ore, to across Ore to Okuchupa, from Okuchupa to Bokoda. How could that be in a modern life now that we have a one road, one way road? The first thing we do when we get to government within the first 3 months is to make it a double laner, not just a double laner, a modern double laner. And what that means is not just in human format, destroy people's houses and all that. No, it's going to be congressional, and we are going to be using direct labor. From there, we open Ondo State. In the first place, we open Ondo State from is undermined economically, being undermined socially, and being undermined geographically. And then we start working on building a rail across the coastal areas from Araromi Beach down to Arogo, down to Ibeguni and Itebumano. The reason why we are going to do that, and we are not going to do dredging and all of those things that cause environmental disasters. Anytime I speak about this, I give due respect to and solidarity to the people of Ayetoro, the happy city. Ayetoro was self-built by the people themselves. It's one of the most beautiful towns in the history of Ondo State. But today, Ayetoro is being washed away because of the climate change in the area caused by the oil drillings and the bad activities, anti-environmental activities of the multinational companies. And which is the most of it all, the neglect over time of the Ondo State government on the Ayetoro people. And that's where the oil comes from. So what we plan is to build rail that's going to be, it's going to be iron rail, you get it, in a modern format, up above the sea level, far up. And then we link each of the towns. We have the whole of Ilaje has nothing less than 370 towns and villages. To then you now talk of Apoy, you then talk of Arogo, and then a good part of Ikale, through Irele, Ajaga, and a lot of other places. You get it? So we need to build a modern Ondo State that flood will not even happen. So the irrigation system in Akure alone is Bangladesh, complete one. Recently, you need to do between one of the roads that lead to Ondo Road, the place on the way, there was a gutter across the road. That's turned to a gutter across the road. Such neglect, the Ministry of Works is so irresponsible, and it is made to be so because of the contract system. We are going to return the Ministry of Works to do its job and rebuild society as supposed to be. So our own campaign is hinged on that slogan: collective wealth, collective welfare, CW, because we know very seriously that we are going to do government business. Government, we have to have business in business, serious business in business. We're going to rebuild the Owena holdings across Ondo State. We are going to advance it to having what I call the Oyemekun Air line. Ibom airline is there. It's owned by Akwa Ibom State now, and it's one of the best airlines. Is it rocket science? No. It's building a serious business and political structure, building a serious business and welfareistic structure. We are not asking for too much. What we are asking for is collective wealth. Let the government build serious business, build industries across the state, built-in companies that will make people to have great employment, drastically reduce unemployment, and with that you make good funds for the state. The state within 2 3 years will catch up with and beat Lagos, because it's Lagos of the ruins that Tinubu and co are building. We're going to show them classically how to build a real society, and from there we will know the most important, which is social housing, social education, social and qualitative health care. We are going to have very serious concern about building real human lives. Recently, I was speaking with Mama Echo, and you know, medical doctors were calling her from hospital, telling her about her doses, her drugs, her healthcare, how is her state. Why is that not so in Nigeria? Shey dem cause us ni? Shey all those oyinbo people wey dey do all those things, all those big places all over the country world wey dem dey do, wey dey work, shey na cause ni? No be cause na. Na because of say we dey put dollars, excessive dollars. People don't even understand their left from right. The only thing they understand is how to steal, how to give $1 million to MC Oluomo, how to have a town that have not had electricity for a very long time. You have been deputy governor there, you have been the House of Rep there, which is the PDP candidate I'm talking about. You know, irresponsibility has been turned to the cleavage to become a leader in Nigeria today. And this is one thing that we want to stop. This is why we are campaigning. This is why we need your support. This is why we need your solidarity. Thank you so much.
Wow, Mr. Wiseman. Ah, let me start. Let me ask one question, then I'll give a go round. Um, I like your vision. I like what you're saying and how things should work. You said that in terms of development, production, and everything should be left in the hands of those with the most capital. And you make case for Ondo State being the having the most capital. But my question is, if all these your ideas or your all your programs is each on a fixed capital, pretty much as I said, it's fixed because it's coming from Abuja every month, and you are going to pay existing salary from that money. Everything, the source is from one place. Since you say so, how do you intend to carry all these ideas simultaneously with just that capital that is coming from federal government? And how long? Or do you have phases in how to actually implement this idea based on that capital that you alluded to, which is your State capital?
Thank you so much on our politics. You know, she say all through where they talk, say I don't talk about allocation. That allocation na punishing money now, na small money now. It can't even handle deep education and healthcare in Ondo State. Although recently allocation has increased. You get it? We have it on good authority that in the last month, the Ondo State government received about 14 billion naira. With 14 billion naira in 1 month, you can start a serious company of 2 billion naira. A serious company of 2 billion naira in Ondo State. Make I tell you something. I was Autobate organizing secretary, automobile boat yard transport equipment senior staff association. In Lagos, there are many
I think I don't know, Mr. Wiseman. We need to hear you again. I think it has to do with network. And
with that
all right,
money where they
bye
borrow from government,
bye. Okay.
they start importing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, they start importing, they start doing business and all of that. So it's no big deal. I told you that I went to see, I was in a pig farm here in Akure that people were doing on their own, individuals struggling to get money to do that. If a government of Ondo State within 1 month put 1 billion naira in building 4 pig farms. Yeah, that's 250 million naira on each of them. And what that means is that you put each of it in each senatorial district and put one in Akure as the center, because Akure is a very large city. Each of these will make great with times 3 its money within 1 month, about 750 million naira each. And from there you will pay workers. From there you will do a lot of things. From there you will get money to sponsor many things. I told you, Ondo State has palm oil. Ondo State has cocoa, one of the largest reserves, farms of cocoa all over the country. So it's not about allocation, it's beyond allocation. We are not, and you can mention that I'm not even talking about the crude oil. That palm oil globally too is more expensive than crude oil. So those are the issues. If you say where I go see money to do all these things to develop society, make I even ask you one question, sef. How did they see money to steal? How did they steal money to get billions? Where did they steal? How did they see money? Money dey the government. Na why did they die to get there? Na why did they make sure say that they arrest people like us? That they make sure say that they gaslight us? You know?
Yeah, I am
Na
saying
why did
that
they
is
force
that
billions
money
to
enough
bribe
for all you
elections?
want to do?
There is money. There is money in Ondo State. Serious money. All over Nigeria, there's no place that is not rich. Nigeria no poor, my brother. You no poor.
All right.
There is
Foley.
money for yacht. There is money for Cadillac. There is money for First Lady, 15 billion. There is money for all the billions they are stealing. You know, see that minister, Betta Edu, the money where they said the woman steal. You know, see, as he plenty rich, ni? Humanitarian people, humanitarian ministry alone, no. Small ministry where they just create. What about all other ministries? You don't know how much wey dem go dey steal? Money dey Naija. Nobody go bobo us. Money is in Ondo State. Ondo State is a very rich state.
All right. Let me, Mr. James. You know, he seems to be ready. It's a question. You have a question?
Yes. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Good. I will not ask any question because actually I don't want to, should I say, place him in a tight corner, asking difficult questions, which might not be. Anyway, I don't want to ask questions. I just want to make some statements which could benefit him should he win the elections. Now, when I was growing up in Benin City, Nigeria, in Bender State of those days, when I left home, we were fortunate to have a Awolowo's party, that's the Unity Party of Nigeria. Before then, it was Action Group. It came back as Unity Party of Nigeria. When he came to Benin City to campaign, we sat him down, himself, Ebenezer Babatope, Michael Ajayi, Bisi Onabanjo, Bola Ige, Latif Jakonde, and other. We sat them down at Ring Road, Benin City, quizzed them on their free education program. And they were able to break it down. And this is where I want you to get some ideas, gentlemen. I'm sure he's still online, he's off the line.
Yes. I think it's network. I hope he's listening.
Okay. Now, as far as his free education program is concerned, he was able to tell us from the findings of his research and publicity department headed by Ebenezer Babatope. He was able to tell us the number of school children in Bender State, the number of teachers in Bender State, the erasers we will use, the pencils, the bottles of ink, exercise books, textbooks, teacher salaries, the desk, and other things it requires to run a school. It was the breakdown in figures. Where will you get the money to run or to execute this program? They were able to pinpoint areas where the money will come from. And on the basis of that, we voted for him. Now, he did not only implement this program to our satisfaction, he gave us what he did not promise us. Bender State University, Ekpoma. We even asked him, where will you get the teachers from? Should the students get so many? He said he's going to create 4 colleges of education, which he created. When he created it, they were calling it poultry schools, just like the ones in Latif Jakonde created in Lagos. Those poultry schools he created are now the leading high schools in Edo Delta states. This is a man who did his homework. Now, we all know the problems of Nigeria. There's nobody in that country who cannot tell you reasonably well what the problems are. What are your plans to tackle these problems? One thing is certain, you cannot tackle all the problems at the same time. This is why Awolowo chose 4 programs, just 4, out of all the problems. Free education, free medical services, integrated rural development, full and gainful employment. These were his 4 cardinal programs. He told us, we will not neglect the other aspects of the economy, but however, these 4 are our cardinal programs. We are going to concentrate on these 4. Whatever resources remaining, we spend it on other areas, but assess us at the end of our administration with these 4 programs. And a man called Ebenezer Babatope did an excellent job. I do not know your relationship with him politically. If you are raising on the same wavelength, I don't know. But I want to strongly recommend that pay him a visit at home. He will sit you down and give you excellent ideas on how to run that state, Ondo State. I remember when what's his name? Michael Ajayi had a problem with what's this man's name? Michael Ajayi and Akin Omoborewo in the 1979 elections. The people of Ondo State, they took over the streets. They said, we never voted for Akin Omoborewo. We know who we voted. Nobody mobilized them. The federal government had no option than to reverse the decision at the Supreme Court or whatever court they took the decision. Now, these are people who were satisfied with Michael Ajayi's administration. That guy was a well-read guy. I think he attended Forabe College, University of Sierra Leone. They believed him and he never disappointed them. He never did anything that would make them question his integrity. So that is just it. I sincerely wish you well, but the summary of all I've been saying is, please find time to go to Ebenezer Babatope. I understand he's somewhere in Lagos. I don't know exactly where he is now. He's a man of ideas. He was in charge of research and publicity. He did his homework thoroughly. He knew what was involved and they executed the program as if it's a walkover, but it was not a walkover. To raise the money, to block avenues of investment of funds, delivering the goods, and I mean, it was just fantastic. This is why up to today, till I will enter my grave, I think Awolowo will be my star. If there's anything like heaven, because I'm not a religious man, I didn't know there's something like heaven. When I get to heaven, there's the first man I will ask for. Where is Obafemi Awolowo? Because if not for him, there was no way I would have gone to school. Maybe I would have been a taxi driver today or a casual laborer somewhere. These are people who have the interests of society at heart. They work towards it and they left their footprints, indelible footprints in the sands of time. When the history of Africa is being written, it will be a misnomer if they exclude Obafemi Awolowo from the record. So that is just how it is. gentleman. I sincerely wish you well. And I like the man you are teaming up with. I think it's Mr. Showore. We schooled together at the University of Lagos, although at different times. I read geography in the same department where he read geography, but at different times. I graduated years before he took it. I mean, he was able to, what's it called? Before he gained admission to the University of Lagos. I was born in Akure, Ondo State, during the colonial period, 1962. My father went to Benin in preparation for the creation of Midwest. That is how I missed growing up in Ondo State. So I grew up in Benin City, though I'm not a native of Benin City. But anyway, that's something else. Please try to narrow down your scope of your manifesto. Narrow it down to the only essential parts, because there's absolutely no way you can tackle all the problems, particularly those you've been enumerating. You know the problems, unquestionably, but go for the key areas like health, education, and areas of first choice. And if you're able to excel in one or two of these areas, you'll be a superstar. I sincerely wish you well. Thank you so much for your courage, because it takes a man of courage to do what you are contemplating. Thank you so much indeed.
Can I?
Thank you, Mr. James. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for joining. I can't see your name now because Mr. Kunle Wizeman. Thank you. Just wanted to ask you. This is BT here, by the way. Just wanted to ask you because in regards to job creation, it appears that your own belief is that the government should be the ones creating jobs, because we're talking about manufacturing, right? You said manufacturing that you're going to create jobs and it's going to be government driven. But I wanted to ask you, what is the role of what would be the role of the private sector in achieving job creation in your own government if you win? Like, how would you attract more private sector driven system in your own government? Do you even believe in private sector driven economy at all, or is it going to be solely government driven, even when it comes to manufacturing and job creation? Just wanted to have you clarify that statement. Thank you.
Wiseman, can you hear us?
Yes. Thank you so much. Let me first and foremost thank Mr. James. I listened all through. All of your positions that are fantastic. I'm so happy that you spoke to a lot of the issues that we spoke to, and that's why I said I have narrowed down the whole of my work to two pillars: collective wealth, collective welfare, and that's why I speak more on housing, healthcare, education, and employment. It's very important. Without government doing serious business, there won't be employment. So it will just be the current cycle of government being at the behest of the services sector, which is the space for the private sector, not the government sector. The government should be in charge of commanding heights of the economy, major resources that builds the wealth of the society. It's just like handing over the oil industry to the private hands. It has killed Nigeria the more, which is total deregulation. It has killed Nigeria the more. Removal of subsidies have killed Nigeria the more. Naira devaluation is more of like you destroy the value of your currency. Just like you say, paper. Naira na just paper. You want to float it, it will sink. The value that is connected to it are two things: your production and your monetary policy. Your monetary policy at all times must be firm. And that's why I hear a lot of bad others about Nigeria over defending against the dollar. Who is the dollar? At a point in the history of Nigeria, the Nigerian currency was even more than the dollars before the structural adjustment program, which was introduced by the Nigerian ruling class in the mid-80s. And I'm happy Mr. James is here who can also testify. Many of what was built by the Awolowo people at that time were built on the hinges of Awolowo's relationship with the socialists. And so he had a very serious understanding of the Keynesian economy, which is what we are just talking about. We are not even talking about socialism. We are talking about the Keynesian economy. It's buildable. It's not that we know that we need to narrow our side. But in comparison with the kind of virgin economy that Baba Awolowo and co, Ajasin, Lateef Jakonde, Bola Ige were able to build at that period, it was a virgin society in terms of being taken over from the colonialists. But Nigeria has passed through a lot of stages that the Nigerian society today has been deeply destroyed. And so when you get to government, you need to widen your net of the understanding of the business environment so that you can widen the kind of collective profit the people get. Because it is with that collective profit and collective gain that you can defend the mass welfare that you are massively committed to, so that you won't be dependable on the government allocation. And I thank you very seriously for the examples you bring from Edo State. Till date, no government has been better than the government of Ambrose Ali in terms of creation of industries, in terms of building the modern Edo State that as we have it today. Adams Oshiomhole was governor of Edo State, and I was in Edo State for 6 months. I understudied him. I engaged in a lot of the struggles there. I saw that it was a very beautiful structure and system that was built, but this structure was consciously undermined by the government of Edo State as at that time.
Sorry, Mr. Kunle. Mr. Kunle.
So let me now respond to. I want to respond to your own question too. I'm going to the second question. The second question is the issue of what is the role of the private sector. By capitalist standard, the private sector is supposed to be a competitive sector with the public sector. And for us, a democratic business person must be there as long as it is. But for me, within the private sector, our interest more will be on the SMEs. Our serious interest will be on the informal work. Because it is with the informal work that you can build collective development and collective growth, not fueling the greed of the billionaires. We will not use our own government funds, our own business work to fuel the greed of the billionaires. We will work more with tailors, work more with vulcanizers, work more with people that are selling pure water, work more with people that are selling in the market, work more with the market system, the local market system. Because when you build the local market system as beautiful as it's supposed to be, it will help to imbue, it will help to upgrade and advance the average economy of a mass of people. I want to give you a very classical example. Olusegun Mimiko tried it, and I remember he spoke about it at the NCP convention when it was about 6 months for him to leave. He said it himself that he decided to borrow money to only the market women and all of that, and that after they had tried big business, but the small businesses, they returned money, they were more productive, they built a better market system. So for us, we will not only build industries and companies, our ideas about the SMEs. That's why I've worked seriously with the Federation of Informal Workers Organizations of Nigeria. So I understand the informal work. I understand the small and medium enterprises. We will not kill them with taxation. We will reduce taxation on the SMEs, on the small businesses.
No,
and we will increase the cooperative system.
please. Because this is important. You said the major manufacturing. So I'm asking you about, because you said that should be government driven, and I'm asking you that what is the role of the private sector in major manufacturing? You're discussing retail and SMEs. I'm asking you about major manufacturing industries that you believe should be government run. So why don't
I've
you?
already answered you. I've already answered you to say that our interest as a government is not in big business.
Why
That
not?
is in the big private sector.
Why
Our
not?
interest is in the small private sector, which is the SMEs, the serious building of the economy, much more than the big business. Our own interest is not into relating with Dangote and co. No, our interest is to build the average business person in Ondo State.
Right. So if
Because
I
we need
if I as a business owner now have interest in Ondo State and I have money to invest in your state, you I will not be priority to you because you want to focus on the points you're making, right?
nobody stops you from building your business.
But
It's no issue for
you're
us.
not being too
But
friendly.
what we are saying is that our business support and investment will not go to the big private sector. It will go to the small businesses. That's our interest.
So
Our
there's
business interest
how
is
would
going to be
you
with the private business.
okay
So if you are a big business and you are ready to compete with us on our collective business,
I
let's go.
stay with me now. It's my point. In most developing countries or developed countries, there are incentives to attract the big businesses right into states. So I'm asking you about the same way you are providing for the small scale businesses. Provision should be made for big business as well to bring them in, right?
No, I am not going to do that as governor of Ondo State.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, I get your point now. Okay.
Our interest is only going to be in small business. Let the big business go and source for their own capital.
So no tax incentives, no. Okay, that will help your
They are
employment,
the ones that are supposed to be doing corporate social responsibility.
but they have to be on ground first to do that, right? They must be first.
And they should bring their capital to bring on ground. That's why they are big business.
But you can't
They
invest
should
in.
source for their own capital.
Wow, that's not even okay. I used
They should source for their own capital now. You
Kunle,
know if they use owo abu to do abula lejo now.
Kunle, hold on. Will you call yourself a socialist?
I'm a revolutionary socialist.
No, be more, no,
And that's
be
why
more.
I said that my commitment to building Ondo State is only on social welfare. It's not even on
be more
socialism.
specific now. So you're a socialist. Just say it.
I said I am a revolutionary socialist,
Okay,
not just a socialist.
okay. I get you now. I get your point. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Man of Prestige, are you there? Or
Yes, I'm
Foley?
there.
No, yeah, I know you're there. Man of Prestige, are you there? Foley, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
thank
I'm
you very
here.
much. I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Can you
Right.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
All right.
That's
Good afternoon, everybody.
the governorship candidate.
Welcome, Dr. Mr. Kunle Wizeman Ajayi. Nice to have you on this platform. It's a liberating experience having you who speak about Nigeria's present situation. We are afraid that we are not free in a sense. It's not about the independence that we so-called independent that we have. You know, we know what has transpired since our independence. You know, even before when we was living with tribal isolation before they come and colonize us, and we have so-called independence, you know, military coup and so on, and of course the civilian rule that we have, which I don't consider to be anything democratic. So having said that, this is where we are right now. I've heard you speak. You have speak very wisely, but my problem I have, not because of what you said, you know, Your ideas are very commendable, but I've never seen anybody in Nigeria, in Nigerian politics, that has able to achieve 10% of their manifesto or their, so that's a concern. That's where what has put the country, the country is so corrupt. So my question to you is that how do you propose to achieve all this thing you enumerated here? To begin with, I've looked at the IGR of Ondo State. Is yeah, it's a reasonable IGI. I'm on Ondo State. Yeah, to my own understanding, it's a well liberated state, educated state, and so on and so forth. But just because of the corruption, what will set you apart from other politicians we have in Nigeria to begin with? You don't mind?
Thank you so much. The best president of Nigeria, when you even look at the ruling class standard since 1999, is Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. He didn't remove subsidy. He reduced the price of fuel. Instead of him to go and shoot at people at Niger Delta, he called for amnesty. He allowed the rule of law. Tribunals work for the first time. There was some democracy. But the way he entered into government haunted him till death. The space he entered with, which was the PDP, because it's a nest of corruption. You cannot pass through a corrupt channel to get to government. You cannot pass through a corrupt political party. You cannot pass through an anti-people's political party. You cannot pass through a neoliberal political party. And you think you can change the neoliberal disaster. No, that is why I am a member of the African Action Congress, the only opposition political party in Nigeria. We are the only one that does not believe in neoliberal badadash, neoliberal katikati, neoliberal mal economy that is currently destroying Nigeria today, that is currently reducing the purchasing power of an average Nigerian today. Nigerians are great industrialists. They are great resourceful people. But the government is on its own destroying the potentials of the people. So I am a member of the African National Congress, and we are a disciplined party. And that's why you can see that they hate our leadership. Omi Showore as the national leader of the African National Congress is the only one that said, I will not remove subsidy because Nigerians don't get wetin dey chop other than the subsidy. But I will build refinery. I won't be paying anybody any subsidy. If you want to be a marketer, you source for it. Government itself will go into the market industry of other industries. But all of them said, it's just activism. Activists you just be. Forgetting that the people that rebuilt Nigeria were activists. Adekunle Ajayi, the best governor of those state ever had, the one who built Owena Holdings, the one who built social welfare, social education, was a socialist. Obafemi Awolowo had good relationship with socialists. In fact, at the Just Convention, they agreed there that the Unity Party would be committed to democratic socialism. That was the ethos of the Unity Party. And I think Mr. James is a witness here. And that's why they are committed to making people like Mr. James to go to school. It is only a socialist party, a socialist committed party, a pro-people party, a pro-mass party that can do that. So that is why what we are saying, go and see, there is nobody, no candidate in Ondo State that is what I'm saying today. They are not committed to it. So that one alone will let you know that we are able to tow the other part. That is why we are not billionaires. That is why we are not SAs and commissioners. The current government, they offered us chances to come and serve them because we were the ones who fought against the last hegemony, the Akeredolu hegemony. But we did not fall for that. I would have jumped into the street to become SA on student affairs, SA on war rubbish, SA on media and all the rest. But for us, we understand that you cannot climb the back of the tiger to government, and you will not be swollen up and be chopped raw by that same tiger. You will end up in his belly. So that is why our own political party remains the Revolutionary Party, and that's why we have a revolutionary organization, which is the Take It Back movement. That's why we believe in a two-system approach, both the ballot and the barricade. So for us, we have a revolutionary duty to rebuild Ondo State and make sure that once, because it will be a shame on our ideas, it will be a shame on what we are saying publicly now if we do not do it. Awolowo said it and he did it. It is not rocket science. We too are saying it. If the people of Ondo State vote for us, we will do it superbly. Thank you.
Hello,
Foley.
one man. Yo, Ove.
Yes, Tuma.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
man. Good evening, My Excellency, Wiseman. I salute you. In fact, my question would be, I don't want to ask so much questions because I actually know what my party stands for. I know what we represent, and I know each and every one of us in that party. I know what we share. I know the quality that we have. So I don't want to ask you about a question on how are you going to get it or what are you going to do when you get to the position. But my concern is this, in our political space of nowadays, we have a lot of problem because it's not the idea that is our problem now. It's the system that is producing the kind of leadership that we have today that is our problem. What will you do to stop the rigging of election in Ondo State in the coming election? What do you think you will do for that to be stopped? Like both buying, destruction of the polling units, and using of the dogs to destabilize elections. So what do you think you can do differently to stop this kind of setup? Because I don't want to ask you what you are going to do. I know what you can do, but how do you think you'll be there? What do you think you need to do to get there? Thank you, my brother.
Comrade, the only thing we need there is people's votes. If the people give us votes for this state, they're not rig me. Now, they're not rig us. You want the AAC when they give us better votes. That's what happened in Oyo State now. Seyi Makinde did not allow them to bring ballot paper. If it's that they were able to bring ballot materials, I can bet it with you that we would have won the election and we will defend it. They know that we will defend it. So what we just need is people's capacity, people's support, people's solidarity. If we have the people massively behind us, forget. INEC will talk through. Police help, they go submit. Once we have the people behind us, it's what happened in Rivers State recently. Now, it's not because it's the governor that is fighting it. No. Once the people are behind you, they can't do anything. Especially when you stand your ground and fight on. So they know us now. As the election don't they go, we will not see result of our own. Now we are going to photograph everywhere now. It's sure. We have all of the. I can't be saying many of the tactics on here now. You get it, but we'll defend our votes. It's sure for me.
Okay. What are you doing to make sure that people of Ondo State sees you and vote for you?
Several things. One is about, that's why I said our campaign strategy is hinged on mass education. I am not going to share money. I don't even get money to share. I'm not going to share incentives or anything. No. I have been going around to television stations, going around to radio stations, going around with leaflets, handbills. We've shared over 24,000 handbills all over the state, shared it to people. Our posters are coming out. We are going to paste it everywhere. And the most thing is that we are pasting our posters in the heart of the people. So we are spreading our ideas. The means of also campaigning is also a very, very expensive one. But to the best of the ones we can do, we are doing it. I know those people understand us. And when they arrested us too, everybody came to interrogate, what's the issue? What was he doing differently that he got arrested? When those people to have their ears on the ground. It's not a totally undereducated state. You understand? Historically, the state has a good educated background. So it becomes easier to reach the people. But what we need is people's capacity, people's support, people's being behind us. Once we are able to get that, the rest becomes. Thank you.
Uh, Mr. Wiseman, I like your energy. I don't gonna lie. My question is center around waiting Foley asks and yeah. So me as an athlete, you get one lesson where I learn means that yes, even though they train every day, like 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, all year round for some seconds, right? That's a lot of practice. By the time you get to the starting line, when they say on your mark, as that gun go off, boy, trust me, everything where they tell you, everything your coach they tell you, it goes with that gun. But because you dey practice every day, your body go just dey respond. It doesn't matter wetin dem tell you at the last minute. Now, I'm asking you question based on the fact that you are going into a competition, right? You are going to a competition with others, and the goal here is to convince as many as you can to vote for you ahead of others. Now, it go make you win for this competition. Since this government come to power, you talk and view yourself from your earlier submission that the buying power of having Nigeria don't go down. They go down. Now, you talk and say you know kuku get money to share. But so far, from everything that you say you have done, the posters, the appearance and everything, no be free. Now money. Now only here where you console. I never ask for money. Maybe after we finish. I want know how you go talk so that I know how much I go charge you. But on a more serious note,
Oh
Ondo
yeah,
State now big.
you won't
Man,
ask
let
my
me finish it,
pikin
man.
for money.
Wait, nah.
Oh yeah, you won't ask
Come
my
away,
pikin
hold
for
on first. I
money.
bet. Oh
Hey,
my God.
you better pass am through me. Nothing, not disturb my pikin. No, leave am check. Thank you. I love.
So, Ondo State now big state. By the time before you finish Akure alone, then Ondo, before you go begin go all those Ayeturu, begin go Akoko and so on and so forth. It's going to cost you money, whether we like it or not. Now, your competitors, they say, as an athlete, if you are not training, your opponent they train. If you no go spend, you don't get money to spend. Your opponent then go spend. But the only advantage where you go get is if you don't create memory, just like as training every day will create memory in your muscle. That even when everything they tell you come out, follow your brain go, your muscle memory still remember what you train. So my question is that you don't have money to spend. How long have you been campaigning? I ask that to say that they go bring money go give people from Ondo. Even if they collect that money, will they still remember? Say, one Mr. Kule was here 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, would they remember you? You understand? Because you are doing, from what you are saying, you are doing last minute approach, just like them, and you have few resources than them, and you won't do the same approach to the game last minute. The that minute I'll come out, share money. So how are you going to raise that kind of money? How have you able to raise the money that you are spending so far? And the one you are still going to spend is the party coming through for you? Do you have a godfather in terms of Foley? I know the Foley now national businessman. Is Foley your business? Is Foley your godfather? Is party playing out for you? Like, how are you? What is how are you raising this money, and how far have you gone in terms of the money part? Because it's important. Now, how you take care of your money, now you go take over. I don't to talk, Abi. I don't chase fully. I say fully. Wise man, you hear me? Who's your godfather, pretty much? Because the rumor has it that fully is one of your hitman. And how much is the party AAC contributing to your campaign? If you don't mind, tell us. Fully, do you think
What's man? Are you still
is
there?
your is there
I am here. I am
a
here.
network, Abi?
I only want you
Okay.
to conclude, and I
Uh-huh.
think that you didn't conclude.
Yes, I
The
don't
conclusion
conclude.
should
I
have been
said,
that how much will all
okay.
Napolitans contribute agents,
Eh.
logistics money, all Napolitans, you need to also contribute to,
Oh, okay,
because I
okay,
also
okay.
want
Make I
you
tell you how
as
much.
one of my godfathers.
May I tell you, make I tell you, may I tell you my relationship with Ondo. I won 2 gold medal and 1 silver for Ondo State, 2009 for National Sport Festival. Now 350,000 they give me, so they say they owe me money. So if you become governor, I mean that's the first prize wey you go get na me and you. I will sue Ondo State to court for owing me money. This time around na billions I go put. So yes, go ahead. I don't know. I don't know if you are still talking because I can't hear you. Wise man, you did it. Oh yeah, Foley, do you want to tell us that 7.2 million where you donate? What are you expecting in return?
Actually,
Commissioner, full commissioner
I'm
for
not
you?
actually believing in that we have to spend much money before we can actually govern a state or govern a country. What I
No,
believe
no,
is
no, no, no,
this:
no.
we
This is
need,
not government now. To go around on those states, it will cost you money. No go be free. No be say you want to dey share money as
yeah,
you go around,
yeah,
but it
yes,
cost you
yes,
for you to
yes.
move from point A to point B.
And that's why we are asking individual who cherish to have a kind of governance that will actually that will serve our people. That's why we're asking individual that believe in our cause to support the struggle so that we can have a kind of um, a platform where people can actually see the seriousness in us as well. Because for people
And
to see the seriousness
how is
in
that
us,
coming up?
we also need money.
How are the people responding? What is the
Yeah,
response so far?
the little people that have the interest of the country, of the state at heart, are actually doing their best. But it's only their best may not be enough. So we still need more people to come on board so that we can be able to have money for logistics.
Okay.
And mind you, the people we
So
are competing with, they already have they have our tertiary in their purse. So they can do whatever they want
that's
to do
why I
with our
said
money to campaign against us. And they have the system in place. And what we think is we cannot just all sit back because we know they have the system already. We can't sit back. And that's why we are fighting against them to make sure we get our country back from them. We want people to get whatever belongs to them back from these people. That's why we are running. And for that to happen,
Yes.
we also need Nigerians to get involved in the process, to support our struggle, to believe in our cause, and to come and join us to save the country and save the state at large.
Mama Echo.
On our politics here,
How many?
you have said it all.
Available right now.
Our
I'm on the
comrades have
call.
been supporting us. No matter how small, they have been supporting us. Our comrades have been supporting us. So, and comrades here too have also been supporting us. Maicho have been supporting us. A lot of people have been supporting us. Now, why we even still feel reach where we don't reach today. But we need more of public support. But you know, it's even a period where things are so hard economically in the whole country. You know, before people can even afford to give you some money and all of that. But now, Tinubu don't reduce the purchasing power of an average Nigerian. So people don't even get money to contribute like that. But at least we'll keep firing on us. We won't allow it to deter us. We won't allow it to discourage us. So just like my comrade chair of Ekiti State just tell you now, make una support us. Make Nigerians come out to support us. Make those state people rise up in defense of their own agenda. Thank you.
Mama Echo. I understand that you are the in charge of diaspora donation. I hope say you never use and go do vacation for Vegas. So how much? How is that coming so far?
Oh, yeah, did you donate? How much did you donate? Because I've not seen your donation.
Now we don't ask you to give accountability. Now you don't say where we donate. That's what wanted on the government.
Because, oh, yeah,
Yes.
you are the vice chairperson of the diaspora donation. So me, are you supposed to know how much they account?
No, I know. That's why they ask you now. Now
Eh,
now you they go back.
account now.
So my Echo, what's your question for? Or you have a?
Kunle
Okay.
Wizeman, what is your plan? They said the youth
Wait, oh.
are the human capital of every nation, and the youth are the human capital of Ondo State. What are your specific programs to empower the youth? That is one. I grew up partly in Ondo, and I know they are into agriculture, especially cocoa farming and the palm oil you talk about, because that was what my daddy do, and Gary. What are your plans for this farmer and other group of farmer in Ondo? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Echo. You know that luckily too, my parents are also palm oil farmers too and producers. So I have a very good understanding of I'm very familiar with the issues with Ondo State farmers. And that's why I talked about the Ulua Forest Reserve that was destroyed by Akeredolu and handed over to private hands. First and foremost, immediately we get to government from day one, we are going to get it back and return it to those farmers. And then we plan together how to move from their small farms and those who even have big farms and support them as a government. The fertilizer, we are not just going to be doing buying fertilizer. We are going to build a state structured fertilizer industry that will be seriously and structurally to help our farmers. And so, aside fertilizer too, we are going to be advancing the farming system in Ondo State. to reduce the physical work of the farmers, get it, and make them to have more supervisory effects in terms of building much more classical and advanced farming. So those are our policies on the agricultural system, because we know very seriously that where we are going to have the funds to do all what we want to do in terms of social infrastructure and physical infrastructure are going to be from the agricultural sector. And that's why you can see that when the bulk of what, when I said collective wealth, is going to be wealth that we collectively gather, get it, on from the agricultural sector mainly. And that's why I didn't talk about crude oil more. So the agricultural sector, the farmers, and we are not going to also be relating with farmers like government to farmers. No, we are going to make it in a very congressional way. We are going to make sure that farmers themselves have a say in what is to be done. Not that situation where you just make decisions on behalf of the farmers. No, our own system of building a state is going to be congressional. What we want to do on transport is going to be congressional. On education, it's going to be congressional. On healthcare, it's going to be congressional. So our own system is going to be congressional, and we are going to make sure that top in our priority, workers, farmers, youth, students, women, and men. Thank you so much.
My other question is, there are a lot of Ondo light in the diaspora. What is your plan to be able to get them involved in your government, knowing fully well that they can support from the private sector?
Well, our policy is that our arms are opened, wide open, to discuss with everybody, to negotiate with everybody, to work with everybody, to collaborate in the interest of the state. So we are going to reach out. We are going to explore every available option, because just like Che Guevara taught us, we need to bring growth and development and advancement to Ondo State by any means necessary. So we are going to reach out to everybody. It's going to be an all-inclusive government.
All right. I think there is a what's it called, misunderstanding there around the issue of supporting the SMS and the what's it called, not supporting the private sectors. And I think private sectors is also SMS is still also private sectors. So we shouldn't misunderstand that he said he won't support private sectors. I think he's talking about dealing with the business owners in the state. I think that's what you mean by SMS. I mean, Mr. Wiseman, am I correct?
What I'm saying is that in business, we are going to be doing business, and we as business, we are going to also dedicate our business incentives to the private sector, to only the small and medium enterprises, which contains also the market women, which contains also informal workers, tailors, vulcanizers, fashion designers, a lot of mechanic, different set of informal workers, the computer gurus, tech gurus, different initiatives that are on board. Those are the people that we are going to give
if I hear you clearly, does that mean any private company, private company in your state that is doing little production, like producing a kind of goods, does that mean your government will not support them?
I'm saying that I'm not saying we are going to create an enabling environment for every business to thrive. What we are now saying is that every big business must source for his own capital because we are also involved in big business. You understand what I'm saying? What
Okay.
they are, and every big business also must also be committed to is a corporate social responsibility. And because we cannot continue to use Owo, the money of Abu, to do entertainment for Abu, you understand what I mean? We are
Okay.
interested in that big business, but we are also going to make sure that mass small business that are help to rebuild families, they are going to help to make rebuild the middle class, they are going to help to make more people move away from poverty. We are going to be more committed to such businesses that will make people to move more away from poverty, that will reduce the poverty index drastically. And the best investment, Nigeria informal workers. So area government should be committed to enabling the business, to supporting aggressively the business of the informal work, the business of the small and medium enterprises. So that's our focus. Big business know what to do. There are commercial banks that they can work with, no issues. Buy land, no issues. They pay us what they are supposed to pay. But we are also in business. So we do not have issues with private sector competing with us. It's a capitalist world. Even in a socialist world, they can compete. But what we want to show is that as a state, we can be the best in business. And then we are also going to make every Ondo State persons interested in informal work and small and medium enterprises to be highly comfortable doing it, so that at least that can help reduce the pressure of government. That can also help to reduce the poverty level and advance a great majority of poor people, you get it, to being self enterprised, to be self satisfied, to be self fulfilled, coupled with free education at all level, free healthcare at all level, building massive companies and industries. These are our plans. We do not want to build a government that will carry unnecessary burdens of a greedy, primitive billionaire. No, we want to be a government that will be carrying the burden of
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's,
may I suggest something? Just a suggestion. Can you hear me, please?
yeah, we can hear you, Mr. James.
Yeah,
Yes, go
good,
ahead, Mr. James.
good. The ideas are very lofty. I mean, he has ideas to lift the people out of poverty. But again, I like the Babatope style of quantifying everything you want to do in advance. You quantify it. For example, you want to help farmers. How many cocoa farmers do we have in Ondo State? What has been their production level? How do they market their products? If they have problem of pests and diseases, what are the nature of these problems? How much will it cost? The same thing apply to Gari farmers, farmers growing cassava. What is the quantity of cassava do they produce? How much of this is wasted? How much is processed? After processing it, what are the marketing outlets? Do people from other neighboring states like Edo State, Delta State come to Ondo to buy? Or Ondo people go there to buy? What quantity? These are the kind of nitty-gritties you need to put in place so that when you assume office, you take off instantly. There's no need for you to be sending people to go and find out this, find out that. And in the course of quantifying these things, you will be able to, in the course of quantifying it, you will be able to foresee problems on the way and how much it will cost. There was a time I was listening to I think it's the commissioner for agriculture in Lagos State at the time. She's a lady. I can't remember her name. That lady is well organized because she was able to tell us the quantity of chicken they will eat every year in Lagos State, the quantity of other meats and other, agricultural produce, where they hope to get it from, like Benue State, Kwara State. She was able to quantify this thing. She was either on Arise or Channels TV. I can't. It's long ago I watched it. She was using this Babatunde style because everything must be quantified. After quantifying, then you place price tag on it. If there are wastages, what do you do with the wastages? Are the states in Nigeria able to consume the excess gari they produce in Ondo State? If the answer is no, do you hope to export it to the Republic of Benin? If that is not the case, these are the kind of things I want your research department to be involved in. If you have not formed one, it's never too late. Immediately you assume office, because the election, I think, is in November. Immediately you assume office, set up a research department, not for research and development, but to look into this kind of quantification. It's very important. Because once you're able to quantify, you know how much the cost will be. And if you know how much the cost will be, if your money is not enough, you know where to source, the funds. And if your money is surplus, you have to remove some money maybe from gari production to yam production or from cocoa, those kind of nitty-gritties. They're extremely important. They will make the job relatively easy for you. So this is the little contribution I think I can make. I congratulate you so much because when I was as young as yourself, I wasn't having the idea of even contesting election, let alone becoming a governor of a state. It's a very bold step you are taking. More grace to your elbow. I wish you well. And wherever you see Showore, tell him I also wish him well in his endeavor. There's a certain poet, it's not a poet as such, but I think it's a German evangelist. He said, I think, I'm not quoting correctly, they came for the Jews. I did not do anything because I'm not a Jew. They came for the...
That is a German poet, Bertolt Brecht.
Good. Now, at the end of the day, when they came for me, there was nobody to speak for me. So tell Showore, we thank him very much for speaking for us. So thank you so much indeed. I have to go home because it's already night in the Gambia. It's almost 9 o'clock now. So I have to go home. Thank you so much. I wish you well.
Thank you, Mr. Ajayi. Appreciate your time.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Papa James. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Salutations for the words of encouragement. I note the quantification. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
And we're
Good
going to do
night.
yes. Salutations.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night, Mr. James.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Wiseman, there's a question on comment section that says, say I should ask you that if you believe vote count in Nigeria, you believe the vote is going to count? That's coming from Daniel.
I critique INEC every time. I know that INEC is a pseudo section of the ruling class, whether it's APC, PDP, or Labour Party. So I know that how will I say that I believe that vote count? Which vote we count? They will only allocate votes. But what we need is people's capacity. If we have mass of people behind us, they cannot do that to us. You get what I'm saying? So I don't have any illusion in INEC. They are already rigging it already. They're already planning how to rig and all the rest. You get it? But our own is that we need a mass of people to understand our ideas, to take up the ideas and rise with the ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, Foley, you wanted to say something?
No, I think you have answered correctly.
My question here again. As a governor of Ondo, I tell you, say if there's anything I have with Ondo is I competed Ondo gave us Shehu Ogunkoya. There's a lot of people. So, what is your program to revamp sports in Ondo State?
Happily, I also played football. I played OK Soccer under 17. I
Well,
know people. Yes, I've met with people like Godfrey Babuna when they were players as secondary school players in Ondo State before. There was a very beautiful footballing system. So already, and I'm a Barcelona fan, so I understand the footballing system is to build the academics, and the youth, the age system. You get it? And aside that, to all sports, and classically, although that's one of the largest riverine bases. Why is it that we don't have good swimmers? We don't have a lot of things. So these sports, exceptionally, are areas where we will revamp. And as I just revamping it, is to have massive financial investment into the sports itself. You get it? You are giving an example now that they are still owing you money to today. Those it. When we get there first thing, we have to pay back everybody they are owing. You get it? But aside that too, it's also to make sure that such does not repeat itself again. Is by building an independent structural and building on praxis in an advanced format. You get it, a sporty system. It's not just to leave it to somebody somewhere who is a youth leader and say, okay, because we are going to differentiate why it is youth and sport is because it is the youths, you get it, that have the youthfulness to do the sports. So while we are building the sports, we are building the youth, and we are going to make sure that we do not separate sports and education. Education will be the base of sports. That's why we are going to have more interest in building academies that will not only serve the purpose of just practicals, but also knowledge, real education. And then we are adopting the German system of sport ownership. If you look at the Bundesliga, and somehow you have in Catalonia too, it is the fans. Fans have serious stakes. You get it? In sporting events and sporting activities, and also sporting clubs, sporting academies. So we are going to explore that option. For instance, I'll give you a classical example of Sunshine Stars. We build a fan base, a serious fan base for Sunshine Stars, that each of those funds will have economic interest in Sunshine Stars. You understand what I'm saying? It's not just about building shares. It's not about shareholding alone. It's that an average Ondo State person will want to invest in Sunshine Stars so that they can have a percentage ownership, of Sunshine Stars. So this will help to also build its critical development. Even when we leave government and some other governments that are against it, they won't be able to touch it because it becomes cultural, it becomes economical, it becomes systemic. So that's the kind of systemic this thing. Some of us are very proud when you see people like Victor Boniface coming from Akure, Godfrey, different people trained from Ondo State. So, but where is that system now? Go to the stadium, it's nothing to write home about. What of the street to street sporty work? For instance, within the space of about about 5 to 6 streets, why are there no sporting mini stadium? There should be mini stadium where the sporting events holds. Aside the fact that sport for commercials too, sport also help to live to build the vibrancy of a society in terms of consciousness. Sport also help to build the health status of a society. There is no way we can build real healthcare without sports. So all of these are going to be linking up. It's not only going to be the Ministry of Sport, the Ministry of Health is going to be involved, Ministry of Education is going to be involved to build such a classical sporting system. These are the combination of both strategies and also visions that we have on the spot. Thank you.
Thank you, wise man. Now, we don't do 1 hour 40 minutes, so 10 minutes above. Now, one last question: What will you tell an average Ondo girl, Ondo woman in the village? What will you tell her?
Ohun yìí máa kọ́kọ́ fọ̀ wọ́n ni pé iye àwọn màámà lọ́jọ́ iwájú o bó ìgbẹ́dọ̀ dìbò jẹ́ òfowélá dìbò yówélá mú ọbẹ̀ o dìbò ń ìjọba ya jẹ́jí àwọn màá jalè ní ọjọ́ iwájú ìjọba ya jẹ́jí adádede àwọn mèremère rẹ̀ yé gbé owó wọ̀lí wá ilẹ̀ dìbò ń yóò jẹ́ pé àwọn màá mú ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ náà tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó pín dìbò ń yóò jẹ́ pé dédé àwọn ẹsibítù wọn yá kára jọ pé àwọn ni akápẹ ẹ tó bá ti dàgbà àgbàlagbà from at the age of 60 doctor ti gbẹdọ kápẹ ẹ ní period ẹ àti ká máa ẹ tiẹ àti gbẹdọ put ẹ on the special conditions in each hospital gbẹdọ take note pé ọ̀nà yìí ti wọ 60 o agbẹdọ ma state of the health ẹ bẹ yín o kún wa wá ṣe next so ohun jẹjẹ wọn yìí máa fọ̀ràn ààyè wà nílẹ̀ àgbàyà bá rí ẹ ni àwọn ìyá wa tá a bá pàdé lákùrẹ́ pàdé ní gbogbo a máa sọ fún irú ìjọba wo lẹ fẹ́ ṣé ìjọba tó kàn máa fún yín lówó díẹ̀ sí 5,000 6,000 pé kẹ́ lọ dìbò fún wọn ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́yìn 4 years ẹ̀ ní rí wọn mọ́ ni àbí ìjọba tó jẹ́ pé bí ẹ̀yin àgbà arúgbó ṣe ń jẹun ó gbọ́dọ̀ wà a gbọ́dọ̀ tọ́jú arúgbó any retiree any old person the government must make sure they are feeding their health care you get it and all other welfare of them must be on the head of the government but kúbo government fẹ́ rí ṣé olórí allocation nìkan ni irọ́ a gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ àwọn ètò tó máa ń mú iṣẹ́ wá àwọn factories àwọn company oríṣiríṣi tẹ́tí nígbà ẹ̀sìn bí màmá ẹ̀mọ̀gbà tó ń ṣe for ceramic ẹ ṣáà ti wà láyé nígbà Olúwa glass ẹ wà láyé lórí nígbà àáròmí òbúrọ̀ by stick ẹ wà mẹ́ nígbà wena bank gbogbo ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ padà kí ayé lè da kí ayé àwọn ọmọ yín náà ọjọ́ iwájú wọn kó lè da kí ìgbẹ̀yìn náà gan kó lè sún wọn nítorí pé ìgbẹ̀yìn yín tí ìjọba bá ń dúró tì yín kò tí ní pé ẹ ṣe wàhálà nǹkan láyé àwọn ọmọ yín gan tún ṣe wàhálà púpọ̀ ìjọba ló yẹ kó máa ṣe wàhálà yẹn nítorí pé gbogbo ìgbà tẹ́ wà láyé ni wọ́n ti gba tax lọ́wọ́ yín whether directly or indirectly ìjọba tó bá dẹ̀ gba tax lọ́wọ́ èèyàn ìjọba yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ rí i pé òun mú ilé ayé dẹ̀rọ̀ fún gbogbo ènìyàn. That's the way I will speak to an average Ondo State because wọn ní mi ìgbìmọ̀ kan jẹ́ tó gbóyìnbó pọ̀ gan mi ò ní ìdádì sọ ìbò púpọ̀ fún wọn mọ́. Thank you.
I like that, man. I like this last submission. You drop the mic, boom. I go make sure I cut this part and work on that. But
you never praise any person before. For you to praise this, my pikin. Let me say it makes sense to you. Thank you.
Yes, because I mean, for the very first time, I see somebody that has a different idea from. I mean, I can't. I think yesterday we had argument here about Dangote and Nigeria, and I was angry in a way that why are people supporting Dangote? That's a private business and all that. So to see Mr. Wiseman pretty much come and break it down within the feel that there's a need that the government should be in charge of the small scale, and that's the fastest way to carry people out of poverty. I think that's new. That's new in terms of everybody who don't they hear from. No, I mean everybody. I talk of Obi, all the politicians. So I've not really seen somebody that actually say, okay, maybe even when Babati was trying to push about, Dangote style of business, I am bringing money. He said, nothing concerned, bring your money now. So why are you looking for a special favor in order for you to bring money? And I understand that. I understand where Babati is coming from, but to see him stick to his guns. I don't care. The people comes first, and if I'm in a position, I'm going to make sure I focus on them and get. So I
Obey,
mean,
obey.
that's
That,
new.
that
That's something that I can.
that's what I always tell you. Like you don't follow our movement that much. I think you have been following us. You will have know
Fully,
what we actually stand for.
fully. Make man no slap you through this phone now. If no even say Mama Echo. Now Mama Echo bring. I don't dey worry you since. Bring people. I mean they tell you say bring your people come. I don't know them. You make I dey follow them. I be wish.
We have a lot of platform where you can actually
No,
follow
you
us.
know me now. You know me say as I go criticize AAC, show what everybody dey shit. I see anything we wanna do right. I go talk am. And another thing again. Imagine say show what they know decide to say you want
I
come your
think
party.
this is what we'll be
Come
doing for
forget
you now.
wise man.
I think
Talk like that.
West man. I think this is what we need to be doing for Ove now. Maybe people like Juwon, Femi Adeyeye, and all the guys in AAC should be coming here to come and be addressing Ove, so that Ove
Shebi,
can see the quality of our
shebi,
party.
wait, Foley.
I go see
Now,
see you know me
Mo ti
now. Once I see once
rán wise man láti only God knows. Pé kó bá mi mú wọn wá. Then Anani was contesting. I said, okay, let's do this first. Then we'll start doing the other one.
even me myself. So there are times I will send them the link for them to join. Still, they will not. Maybe everybody has their own things they are doing. Maybe everybody is busy now,
I will
no,
bring
so I
you
can't
know
really.
me now. If I see idea what's spreading, I go spread down.
There is not any one of
He's
AAC
putting an
member
argument
that you
that
will listen to that you will not see a different ideology from them. There is not any AAC member because that's what we are.
yeah, but I know feel as I said, I know feel I don't know where una dey. Now una go come. I don't tell you for the past 1 year now. I don't dey tell you. Mama issue way just tell me how many days it make it happen. I know I suppose they work now, Sef. I suppose they work as I tell I know like, I suppose they work. I say fuck it. You understand? Let me do this. I
White
know for
man,
at least $200. Easy. But I say no. Make I let me hear. And I'm glad I did because it's an argument that I never heard the way they present it like this before. It's an argument I can make case for, right? So it's for me. I think not going to work just to give on the platform. I think it's a win for me, and I appreciate the fact that it's a fresh idea, and I mean there's more in that direction. That's what it means. So it's up to you guys. I'm always here. I mean, I think I've done enough to say okay, make I find a way to the project. You know, the next step now, I say okay, make I once I get money from here, I'll say okay to say I they get money, say that I don't monetize and they get as they donate, so I go say okay. If they donate on the other side, I go either add to them or I go say okay, I'll send them to the organization where in the stuff like that. So, but seriously, I appreciate the fact that you have a fresh idea and you are ready to defend it. That's what I see that.
so so
You are
Ove,
ready to defend
Thank you
it.
so much. Thank you so much.
how many millions are you giving us now to support us?
Ovie, do you know that exactly 5 years ago, let's say that's 2020, 2019, I wrote against Naira devaluation and I made a very clear position that the day Nigeria fully devalues the Naira, it will not go less than 1,000 Naira. And the video is there. I was at Gwagwalada to speak later on. And I've been pursuing the position on the Naira that when we engaged Emefiele's voice on Twitter everywhere, they will be saying a lot of lie economics. It should be you, they follow people like Bismarck Rewane. Those are false
Yeah.
economics. They will tell you that when you remove the subsidy, everything, the economy will get better. The Nigerian you should stop defending against the dollar. And I keep asking them questions. How do you make Naira to be 1 Naira to $1? If you want to be you don't want to subsidize the naira, but you want to subsidize the dollar. It just be like as you do like this, we say we dey sell a biscuit, because this biscuit wey we dey sell, we no go put price. Those are the terminology. So we need to float the naira. This biscuit, we no go put price. That's floating it. That's what it means. It means that if you float something, like say you no fix am, you get that kind of thing. So when you say you now float the naira, what happens next? Naira as e be so na just paper. Wetin make naira dey get value is the value of the production in Nigeria, the value of the resources, both the one wey we don dig and the one wey we never dig, na im make up the naira. You get it? And the value of our servicing sector, na wetin make up the naira be that o. But when you come say, okay, you no put price for your naira, na im be say you no put price for your servicing sector, you no put price for your production sector, you no put price for even the resources wey you get underground and upground. That last part wey I tell you now, na im dey cause all those Boko Haram and all of those things o. You know why? May I tell you why? Nigeria, as they don devalue naira, so currency, so they devalue our economy too, to the extent that anybody can just go anywhere for Nigeria today and dig the ground, play with uranium, play with gold. So far as you get enough guns to send terrorists to that place, kill people plenty, do ethnic cleansing, lie on religious cleansing, lie on ethnic cleansing, and take over that place, and you start to dey dig from there. Go to Zamfara. It is the gold digging that is the cause of the bandits and the terrorists. So it is government policy na dey cause all those terrorism wey you dey see so. Because normal before, na government get the whole land, you don't have a right to do digging in your environment except if it is government done. But now, because they have deregulated, they have devalued both the currency and directly now the economy. You get what I'm saying? There is terrorism. Aside the fact that there is terrorism, there is mass hunger. I won't give you one classical example. Do you know that as at 2 years ago, Nigeria no dey number 5 in the production of yam? Immediately Tinubu say subsidies gone. Foreign countries, they start to dey buy all the yam for Nigeria at their own price because dollar don finish naira. So that price wey you come dey buy, it means that dollar is 1,600 times naira, and the value of yam locally here becomes peanut. You understand what I'm saying? So in 2023, the first achievement of Tinubu is that Nigeria produced the highest number of yams globally. What do you now think is now happening in Nigeria today? People no dey fit buy yam again for market, they no get the money. That's the ripple effect. Hunger. To the extent that they cut yam into 2, into 3 for people to buy for market. So the bad economy that we have today, you get it, is a result of that neoliberal capitalism where they talk say we want to hand over the whole business into the private hands. You can see the audacity of saying you don't want to support me private hand, where I won't make the whole money for my pocket too. You can't say more carry the whole general people money, collective CBN money, more borrow you. It means that I must support you as a private hand. You can't use that money go build refinery, whereas all the 4 refineries where Nigeria get, they work again. And if you listen to Otedola when they create Dangote refinery, he mock Yaradua, say there was a government who revoked their license when they already bought Port Harcourt refinery and Kaduna refinery. Say, but that government, but never in the history of Nigeria should that be that kind of a government again. That never in the history of Nigeria should government be interested in business again. See the audacity. It was because they were the ones who sabotaged the refineries. That's what they were the ones who have been paid subsidies. They sabotaged all these refineries, killed the 4 refineries, and now make price of petrol to go skyrocketed. The only reason why Yaradua was able to reduce price of petrol was because he made the refineries work. So he reduced payment of subsidies. because who dey pay subsidy to? No be private companies. Na the same private companies na wey dey import, export. So what you just now need to do is to do your own refinery. You go even make more money because for that crude oil, you get it over 25 other kind of dis things dey there wey be say you fit dey explore. But you don sell the whole crude oil out, come still go dey import fuel again, sell the whole crude oil to Dangote, come dey buy fuel high. You understand what I'm saying? So those are the issues that we have been saying for a very long time. But you know, the Nigerian public space, they consciously promote the bad people. All those Bismarck, one, all of them, ask them whether they don't write one economic book before. They no fit write, put their all the things wey dey talk in paper because e no get logic. E no get logic now. Everything wey dey talk no get logic. Every day go check all the television, channels, everything wey dey promote all those people. So go record 4-5 versions of everything wey dey talk for 4 weeks. Make you come play the cassette back to back, come go play the result of the economy advice wey dem don give. Whether those advice, e never hit the rock. Everything is falsehood because in the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, they are the intellectual monitor of the transfer of Nigerian public wealth into private pockets. That's why they keep promoting all this. They went to the universities promoting entrepreneurship over economics, destroy history, so that we don't go understand how they say before for Nigeria, once when you finish for university, companies they write you letter, say make you come work for them. They don't want you to know those ones. They only want you to know that fella mama na motor alone is sabi drive. No be she lead Abeokuta women this thing. So all of these things are there. But I'm happy that you've been able to give us platform to understand this. Please help us to blow it more and talk to your friends too, so that they can allow us to even use their platform to talk to people. Explore this platform to talk to people. Because what's the essence of platforms when it does not build the people that hears it? What's the essence of platform when it does not promote the growth and development of the people that views it? Thank you so much, all Niger. Thank you so much, Ovi. Salutations, Rastaman. And I think I will dash you one immediate recommendation. I will ask you to bring Banwo Lagoku. He's also a Rasta guy, like you proficient, a very brilliant, understanding. He's more philosophical than me. You ask him issues on governance, a lot of things, and I can bet you to plenty more people.
Give me, you go send me his contact.
Yes, I will do that immediately once you drop.
Foley, please drop your new number for me.
He's the head of the media of my campaign too.
Foley.
No, my number never changed, Joe. It's still the same number that I'm using.
I mean, it show for my side say you don't change number.
I know they change. Okay, let me give you that. But I know they change number now.
Wise man, thank you
Nah,
for your
18,
time. I appreciate it.
18,
Hope so we will see you
18.
again before the election, wise man.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Foley. Foley. Did it end with 1889?
1889, no. My number is 08144444496.
Well, you're too fast.
081.
Okay.
So now 081, then alafufu.
444444496.
Wait, how they come? 081 triple.
On Naija, abeg, send me video link of this interview, abeg go.
444. Mm-hmm.
444 again.
Then 9.
96.
0.